Hi there. My second video today is about, I'm pretty sure quite a few autistics will have already thought of this, but some people might not have thought of it, and some people, neurotypicals around autistics might not have realised it. What you will often find, and I know it's not everyone, but you'll be surprised by this, I think. Why are we often artistic, creative, musically gifted, um, and put our energies into things and the passion that we do when it comes to our creativity? So I myself write music and I make artistic cakes and I do artwork, and I can tell you why I've done it. And the fact I've done it is because, and I think it's going to be very common for most autistics, is because I couldn't express myself when I was younger properly to the people around me. I was one of the ones who didn't do loud meltdowns. I did quiet meltdowns. Um, I couldn't communicate very well with my neurotypical family. They didn't understand me. How sensitive I was to certain things. I was just, well, ridiculed for being upset. Sorry if this is a trigger. Ridiculed for my reactions to things, which is quite cruel, really, isn't it? But they didn't know any better, and I don't blame them now. They probably thought they were trying to teach me that it's silly to be like, but it's wasn't. It just made me feel bad about myself for most of my adult life, my childhood and my adult life. Um, but so I became more artistic for quite a few reasons. One of them was for expressing myself because I couldn't communicate with people, and I wanted to make people realize I was a good person and that I cared, and I wanted them to like me. So I started making cakes and decorating cakes and doing them for people for free because of the smile. Sometimes people would cry when they had them because it was so personal. But this is who I am. But I couldn't say it through words because it wouldn't come out properly through words, and I didn't understand conversation. So it was my way of communicating, and you might find that quite often with autistics, is that this is something we can do and we can understand and we can give our feelings out. Another reason I did it was because a type of therapy for myself, because of my despair, to be honest. I'm sorry, I'm just being basically honest. I'm only going to be honest on here, there's no point. My despair at my being lack of understood by my family members, and sometimes cruel things, I needed something to help me ground myself and realize I was worthy, put all those feelings. I had so many feelings, still got loads of feelings, of all pulled in different ways. I had to put them into something. So, and to be honest, this is a good thing to do for anybody autistic, is to put your feelings into something, because it's just going to go around your head all the time, the things we've been through. So, and what's interesting is some people say to me, but I don't do art, I'm not creative. But they don't realise that being creative doesn't have to be art or music. Being creative is something that you've dedicated yourself to. So whatever it is you're dedicated to, whether it's playing pool, anything that you spend time is being creative. So it's not have to be the typical art things. It could be anything. It could be collecting things. That is your creative. And this is why you'll find autistics, I think, quite often will turn to these things because there's something that makes us feel really good, and so we want more and more of it. And I think this is why we become quite obsessive about those things, because they give us what we can't get from society. And if you understand us better, then you'll realise the struggle for us. But at the same time, out of something quite sad, it's becoming something quite beautiful, which and incredible, which is the art. But and with it, it'd be nice. I think it might still happen anyway, because we are very sensitive beings. So we can feel and think things. So we can be creative, because we've got naturally more developed, that part of us is. So it gives us an advantage in tapping into these things. And these are all positives, which aren't being properly looked at or promoted. Is that sensitivity? It's more ridiculed because we're not tough. Well, we are. We can be, because actually feeling is tough, and it's made us quite tough in ways, but in other ways we might, because we're showing our feelings, we're meant to look like we're weak. And obviously, as we all know, showing feelings isn't weakness. Hiding feelings can be weakness. Yeah, there was something else I was going to say about the creative side of it. So yeah, we've got that extra advantage where it comes to being creative. And there's so many different reasons why this has happened. I believe, and I think there's one more, and I can't remember it. Might have to do another video on it. But just to say why we have that. There is another reason. Can't remember. Oh well. Why we have this creative side, and it's probably used way more than it is. All right. Bye, guys.